Hello and welcome to another edition of Extra Connections. I am James Lott Jr. The show has been Emmy, I won't say Emmy, but it's been award nominated, not for an Emmy, for other things. I wish for Emmy one day. My 3-year-old show here on my network, JLJ Media. I have someone today who I've never had before on my show, and he does some things that I've never had on my show either. Comedian, singer, impressionist, actor. We're talking about what he's working on, what he's doing, producer. We're talking about all that stuff. Yes, we're multi-hyphenates. I'm the same way. We're multi-hyphenates. And I can tell he's a character already. Help me welcome Stephen Sorrentino. How you doing, Stephen?
Hey, I'm doing good. How are you?
You have a great smile, actually. I'm being very serious. You have a really good smile.
Thank you. Bless you.
You do. Very good smile. Smiles are important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It shows your soul. When you smile, it shows your soul.
I agree with that. Now, are you Italian?
I am a Sicilian and Italian, half and half. Sorrentino from Napoli and from Sicily.
Now, tell folks that I know there's a difference, but tell folks there's a difference between Sicilian and Italian. There's a difference, isn't there?
Yeah, and if you say it down there, they get weird. Sicilians are the whole island in itself, and it's a different mindset. They're very different. And the Italians will say, we're not Sicilian, we're Italian. They got their own class system there. Yeah. But Sicily's beautiful. I mean, it's gorgeous Mediterranean.
So you've been to both Sicily and you've been to Italy, been to both?
Yeah, I've been around. I used to tour, and when I tour Italy, mi chiamo Stefano Francesco Sorrentino in Napoli, Sicilia. So I get to speak Italian.
I'm gonna ask you a question, because you're in a hotel right now. How do you handle travel? Like, how do you not go crazy? I mean, people think it's glamorous, and I've traveled a lot. And I'm like, and after a while, it's not glamorous. It's just it's work. You travel.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I think you just put your brain into it. Like I was in a hotel last night in North Carolina filming scenes for a film, and I'm back in Las Vegas in another hotel, which was still here. So I had 2 hotels rooms going at once. And I don't know, I kind of, like when I got into the room an hour ago, I just went, home sweet home, but I don't live here.
So funny. Yeah, well, no, that makes sense though. It makes sense on some level. If you're at a hotel for a while, I've had to be at hotels. I've had to be at a hotel for 3 weeks once at a time. And it does become home on some level. I mean, it does.
I've been here 2.5 months in this room, and I leave next week to go to Foxwoods because my show moves to Foxwoods.
I know Foxwoods.
Yeah, it's fun there. I've loved that. It's 5 weeks I'll be there. But I don't know. I think I unpack. That's my secret. Anywhere in the world that I go, including China or Singapore or whatever, I unpack my stuff and I feel like I'm home immediately, and I take my shoes off. And after that,
I like that. No, I like that. Do you have anything? Do you have any personal items besides all your stuff's personal items? Do you have any personal items that can make it like home too?
I have an air popcorn popper.
Oh, how funny! Oh, wow!
And I bring my Keurig coffee machine anywhere I go, and that means it's home.
I like that. No, you know what? I like that. I do. I like that. And do you request a room with like a refrigerator and microwave, that kind of stuff?
Yeah, but you get it sometimes when they think you're a star, they give you the stuff, and when they don't care who you are, they just give you the room, and you have to rent the stuff on your own.
That's true too. I guess that is
show business. Years ago, I was on a plane with Debbie Reynolds on a private jet. I was her opening act for 5 years, and we were flying somewhere, and she said, "Don't get used to this, dear." And I'm like, I'm on Southwest Airlines sitting in the backward seat back in the day. I'm not getting used to it. I'm in steerage, baby.
Yeah, you're like, I'm not even A, B, or C. I'm D. I'm like D or E.
I'm steerage. I'm gonna row the plane. It's fun.
Well, okay, so I love Debbie Reynolds. I loved her.
Me too.
How heartbroken were you when she died?
I knew it was coming because I had spoken to her 2 weeks before, and I was there for her very last show.
Oh, you were? Oh, wow.
Not her last show, but it's the last show that she should have done, and it was a big show, and she really shouldn't have been there. And she told me after the show, I cleared everybody out of the room, and she said, if I saw that broad on stage, I would tell her to hang it up. And that's what she said, as an 85-year-old woman. And I just said, you don't have to do your act anymore, because she used to do Zsa Zsa Gabor and sing and dance. I said, just go on stage and urinate, and they'll still pay you to hear your story. They don't care, and she got that. She understood at that point, because she said, I can't remember. And I said, tell me about Jerry Lewis. Well, Jerry did this, and she remembered everything. Oh, wow. When you asked her. So I'm like, it's all in there. Just trust yourself, But when she passed, it was hard for me. Really hard.
It was. But so you make a good point. We get a little older. Our memories get a little softer sometimes.
Excuse me? excuse me.
I'll fix myself then, because I'm in my 50s and it gets a little older, and I brained up a lot of stuff these days. I'm like, I can't remember it anymore. I mean, but as a performer, is it just muscle memory where you just literally, for you, it just when you have to perform, it comes back. It just automatically comes back.
Yeah, I think, sometimes as we get older, we lose our trust that it's going to be there, that muscle. But you know what? Somehow the magic pill, whatever it is, you go there, Dr. Grease Paint, they used to call it, or the spotlight, and it just comes back. The other night I did a Sammy Davis bit, and Sammy Davis is not really current, but I have to sing my ass off on that and really hold that, oh, why can't I fall in love too long? Really, and it was there. And as I'm doing it, I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God. And then I'm like, oh shoot, wow, So, and I hear the audience gasp too, like they were surprised that was in me. So I think we lose our faith that it's going to be there, but it's all in there, man. So I was singing yesterday a song that I haven't sang since 1979. And I remembered all the words just fooling around with a bunch of people. And I'm like, holy mackerel, it's in there. So we got a bunch of soup in us. So all this creative stuff that we just store, and it's there when we need it, thankfully, so far.
You know what? I like that. I agree. I agree with that completely. It does. It's in there. It's in there. You just have to, trust this thing. Trust. I know. I agree with that. Well, you do so many things, but I want to first start with the impression stuff, because that to me is fascinating. Because what I want to find out from you is, when did you know you could hear someone's voice and inflection and cadence, and you could copy that? Like, when did you know?
I think when I was a little boy, I had an Aunt Rosie who used to come over on Sundays, and she was a character, and she was Jerry Lewis, and we didn't know it.
I love it.
So she used to talk like this, and her eyes were just a little bit crossed, and she'd smoke a cigarette,
And I used to dress up as her during dinner with her jacket and her hat on, and I'd come out and I'd do an impression, and they'd all laugh, and I'm like, okay, I got something here at 6, So I think that was it. And I used to watch Rich Little, who I wound up living next door to, who also was here at this hotel, it's Tropicana, an hour before my show. And I used to love the impression. So I try to sound like everybody, and like Donald Duck and Flipper. Wait, I can't do it. Can't do it. I got some teeth work done. There it is.
Get them teeth done. Get them teeth done. Exactly. Get them teeth done.
I was a weird kid. I mean, I really did. So.
Well, my thing is almost the mechanics of it. I'm curious, because I've never interviewed impressions before. I'm just curious that. So when you realize you can do it, I mean, I'm just curious what the mechanics behind it. Like that to me, it's like, it's because you're not just doing a straight up impression. You're doing an impression of some part of them.
Yeah.
Doing it. Like you're picking up a piece of them and doing it.
I think the idea is you pick up the piece and you amplify it so it becomes more obvious. Like Liberace, when I first did, oh, marvelous, ladies and gentlemen, it's a lovely time, and the way he does, so things like that. And Sammy Davis Jr., you have to do the I and the O when they are, it's all part of it. And if you do one without the other, it doesn't work. So you cross the I's, you put one that way, cross the I's, put one that way, and then if you do it right, hey, babe. That's it.
I don't know how you do that. That's crazy. But that's amazing. Were there any impressions you couldn't get?
Johnny Carson couldn't do.
Oh.
I couldn't do Johnny Carson for nothing. And I have a friend named Jeff Fairchild, who was just an actor. And one day I realized he sounded just like Carol Channing and Johnny Carson stuck together. That was his real voice. And I'm like, so Johnny, that's Johnny Carson. I mean, like, that was Jeff. But sometimes he would just go like that. So he would be both characters.
That's so you just did it actually, kind of. That's crazy. Okay. Yeah.
I know, but I picked Jeff apart and he became 2 of my impressions. Yes. Isn't that funny?
That is funny. I might sit and listen to that. That's funny. What do you think is key to a successful impression? So I know one thing was amplifying it, but you stand out. But what do you think is another key to it?
Commitment. If anybody's out there that knows old stuff, watch Frank Gorshin.
Oh yeah, I know him. I know him. Oh yeah, I know him. Yeah.
He was committed when he did an impression. His whole body. Like he did Burt Lancaster. I mean, he would just, his whole body. You can even watch his legs would change. And if you're committed to it, the audience will go on the ride with you. If you're not, they'll know you're bailing and they won't go with you.
Ooh,
so
that makes sense. It makes sense. You can't really go half-assed into it. You have to just go. You can't leave, again, trust faith. Back to the faith thing. You can't just go, what if I fuck up in the middle of it? No, I'm gonna go in all the way in. Either it's gonna work or it's not gonna work. Right?
Yeah. Years ago, I got a gig opening for Patti LaBelle, and my brain said, "Don't do it," because all of my impressions are singing, and my comedy is a comedic setup and then a musical punch.
Got it.
So I'm gonna work with Patti LaBelle. So that means I'm gonna be singing in front of Miss Patti. Holy shit!
I know.
So that's when I'm either going to commit to it that day or I'm just going to go home. And that's when I started losing it, going, maybe I shouldn't take this out of the show. And then I went, screw it. I'm going to go on and do 100% kill it. And as I'm leaving, bringing her on, she had those beautiful nails and she grabbed my shoulder and said, "You're with me every time I'm in Vegas for the rest of your life." And I'm like, vindicated. I trusted myself.
Yes. Well, it's a good lesson for anybody. It's like, just kind of like, if you're going to do it, go all the way in. Do not have to just play it and second guess yourself, because you will the self-fulfilling prophecy. You will mess up that. It won't work. Then it really won't do it.
Well, you're telling the universe that you're not going to make it, just in case. I better play it safe. For me, I want to have I'm a good comedian and I'm a good improv person. So if I make a total train wreck, which very rarely happens, thank God so far. But when I do, I make it funny. All of a sudden, okay, I'm doing a chimp. You know,
that makes sense.
Go with it. Just go with it. Always do your best, man. That's the universe will reward you for balls out.
Well, I like it. Well, I always say, Stephen, I always tell people, the audience is rooting for you. They want you to win.
Yes.
People think it's the opposite. I perform and do stuff, and I'm like, no, the audience came to see a show. They want to see a good show, so they're coming in going, I want him to be bad. I hope he's horrible. Like, no, they paid good money to come see you perform. Yeah. They're on your side, right?
Trust the audience is with you. And it's all your demeanor too. Self-deprecation is always the best way to get an audience. If you start your show and you mention that you're fat or you're short or whatever it is, they're going to love you because everybody feels fat and short and weird or whatever. So they're on your side, and you can do no wrong once you have that audience on your side. You can't. Even if you screw up, you'll go, let me try that again. And it's like an old circus trick. The third time he's going to do it right. Everyone, absolute silence. You can't go wrong. These are old circus tricks from 300 years ago that we still do as good entertainment.
No, I agree with you completely about that. But do you have any impressionists? Well, you mentioned Rich Little, Frank Gorshin. I say, are they like your kind of idols in terms of that part of your career, or do you have anybody else you look up to?
No, I think though years ago, an actress got me Frank Gorshin for my birthday. She knew Frank Gorshin and she knew I loved him, and I was there for my birthday, and all of a sudden Frank Gorshin walked into Four Seasons in Beverly Hills, and I'm like, oh, Frank Gorshin came in, and he walked right to the table. I'm like, oh my, I gotta meet him. Happy birthday, Stephen. I got Frank Gorshin for my birthday. So for then, I mean, I was a killer fan. No, I think those were the two guys. Rich Little was great in his day. I mean, nobody could touch Rich Little because he was spot on. And singing impressions, probably Danny Gans.
Oh yeah.
But I think I gave Danny a good run for his money here in Las Vegas because some of I do weird impressions. I do like the greatest hits of Led Zeppelin sung by the wrong people. So it's like Jerry Lewis doing Black Dog, Wayne Newton, Stairway to Heaven swing, and she's flying the stairway to heaven. You know, it's like she's back. So it's a comedian doing them, not so much an impressionist. You know.
Yeah, but you are a singer, so you do sing. You know how to sing.
Yeah, I could still hit the notes as I did when I was 18. I didn't smoke, and I've taken care of myself in the last 15 years or so, and I'm a vegetarian and all that stuff. And I'm still able to do Zeppelin. I could do "I'll Go to Joan Rivers," Ethel Merman. I do on my show, the Bee Gees, Styx, Foreigner. It's a big range. Joe Cocker. So there's a lot of different voices. So that's in itself 180 voices in the show. Makes people go, ooh, and then I play flute, sax, piano, and guitar. And then they go, ooh, ooh, and then I do prop comedy. So it's kind of an ADD on ice.
Okay, how long you in Vegas this go around?
I'm done now. I've been here for 2.5 months.
I'm like, one more. Where the hell have I been? I need to come see your show. I'm in LA. I just come right on over. I want to see your show.
I'm gonna do it at the El Portal again. I brought my show there, and I had all these TV people come, and they were like, where the hell have you been? We love the show. Because it's different. It's old school meets new school, and I do Bruno Mars, and it's fun.
Well, whenever you're in Vegas or LA, I gotta see you. I gotta make sure I see you. I do.
I'll fly you in.
I'm very, very, very interested. Seriously, I'm like, I really would love to see you do your show because that's just. Oh wait, okay. So my question would be then is, So I'm sure you produce your show. So do you sit down when you're planning and go, okay, I want to do these voices, these like do you go, is that the painstaking process of picking?
No, I'm
No?
kind of a organic guy. Whatever feels right, I just throw it in. If it works on night 4, then I just take it. Like Frankie Valli in the Four Seasons,
Yeah.
I didn't want to do it, and I put in the Frankie Valli medley, and it went like crazy. Then I invite people on stage to dance with me while you're just too good to be true, and doing like moves and stuff. And it went crazy. And then it came to a point where people are like, yeah, it's nice. So I took it out and brought something else in.
Oh, okay. Okay. So your show, so I'm saying, so your shows are kind of like you may come to a show one night and get that, but another night maybe a Carpenter's melody. I'm just picking I'm out of my ass. Listen,
Talk about sleep.
I'm like, can you do Karen? Like,
Just like me. Eat something. No,
but you know what I mean? So I'm saying that some people, so that's a good thing for people watching this. You may see them somewhere. It may not be the exact same show.
Never the same. I'm a Second City alumni, so I make stuff up. I study with Marty Dumont in Second City. So for me, if something's different that night in the audience, a different feel, or I come up with something, I'm in the moment, I go with it. And that's the fun part for me, because I'll just go, what the hell did we just do tonight? And my bass player will go, here's what you did. That was on tape. Let's listen to it, because we should put it in the show. So it just happened.
No, wait a minute. So that's my next question then. So whoever is accompanying you, they have to just be ready. They have to just know a large range of stuff, don't they?
They have to be. All my musicians have big ears. They all have to be able to read, but they also have to be able to follow and have fun. If there's musicians that just read, forget it, fired. I love people that just go with it, and they'll follow me, thankfully. And I've gotten musicians now throughout the years of doing this that they know what to expect. You just always going into a Yiddish thing for with an owl, because I do an improv part of the show where I tell a story, and then the audience members make the sound effects when I bring them on stage, and I'll just go into a story that no one ever heard before, neither have I. So all of a sudden it becomes this like Yiddish thing, and I'm not even Jewish.
I love it. I believe you. I totally believe it. So where did the comedian stuff come from? You're always just naturally funny. I mean, we were laughing before the show came on and stuff, but we just like, I like being funny. I tell jokes or whatever. I mean, where did that come from?
I've never told a joke in my life.
I like that.
Honestly, I think I'm just, they say I'm funny. I think I was funny in school. I used to make people laugh because I didn't want them to laugh at me because I was the fat kid. So as we talked about earlier before the show, comedy comes from a weird place. So I think it was to say, laugh with me before you laugh at me. And then they liked me, so nobody laughed at me. So
I get that.
Yeah.
Do you like? Well, I would get a little deeper. Like, do you like the way you look now?
I accept everything about myself.
Okay.
When I forgave myself for not being older, younger, taller, shorter, whiter, blacker, or whatever the hell I wanted to be. I really, I mean, everybody goes through life wanting to be something else. And once I finally forgave myself for being not what I wanted, just this is who I am. I like me at this point. So I'm fine. I think I'm okay. Some people think I'm handsome. Some people
you
think
are handsome. I do like.
Correct. I mean, I don't. It is what it is.
Yeah, no, you are handsome. I do like. I think you're good.
Thank you.
But that's something I know as performers. A lot of time, creatives. I'm a creative performer. That we have that lifelong. Like, when do you get to the point where you're just like, I'm good, and it's good that you got to that point that you're like, I'm good. Like, I'm good. This is what it is. I'll work on what I work on. I'll work on whatever I need to work on.
Yeah. I'm always working on. I'm always evolving, like you mentioned earlier before the show. We evolve. We always have to evolve. When I was 18, I wanted to be a rock star, and then I had a record deal in the 80s, and now I'm doing a movie that I've written, my first screenplay about that, and then I became an Elton John impersonator because I wasn't good. I was too fat to be a rock star at that point, and because I was self-destructive. So I did this Elton John bit, and it blew up and it went all over the world. And then I became a comedian because I was funny backstage doing the impressions of other legends. So the Sammy Davis on stage, I was nailing the voice better than him on stage, going, wait a minute. So I made my own show with all the Tom Jones, hello love, Tom Jones, and all that stuff. So, and then I evolved into an actor again. And then I evolved into a producer, writer, director, actor. I just want to keep evolving until I drop dead. I want to do King Lear, do the last scene and go, that asshole really died.
Me too. No, me too. No, Steven, I make the joke with my friends all the time. I won't be sitting like this. We'll do an interview, and then I'm like, Steven, thanks for being on the show. I'm James Law Jr. See you next time. And I just drop dead right there. That's what I want to do. I say it all the time. Everyone's like, don't say that. I go, no, seriously. Andy Rooney was 8,000 years old on 60 Minutes. They rolled his ass out of the chair. He did it until almost he quit. And he died like a 3 months later. I mean, I love that. I love that.
Listen, if you make a pact right now with me, I will die with you on your last show.
Okay, that's it. Okay, you guys all hear that? This is morbid. Yes, we're gonna die together.
No, it's not. I already have my cemetery plot. I have a niche over at Hollywood Forever, right next to Ann Sheridan in the Cullen Bay. It's paid for. I'm ready to go.
I love that. Is hilarious. I love it. Oh my goodness. Yes. I'm like, Thelma, yes, Louise, we're doing it. We're going over the hill, over the cliff.
That's it. And good night, folks.
And good night. Exactly. I say it all. It's funny you say I say it all the time. I said that's how I want to go. I want to go the way I love what I'm doing. I literally. I mean, I'm not going to retire. I have no plans of retiring. I'm in this business forever. That's it.
Right. Why would you retire from something that you love?
Thank you.
See, people, I always get that. People say, well, when are you going to slow down? Because I've done well. I have homes in California and whatever. And some of them are really cushy and really cool. I have a 1930s movie theater in one of my houses that I just sit there with all the memorabilia. I have Betty Davis's hat from Dark Victory and one. Yeah, it's great.
Oh my goodness, wow, I love it.
Gloria Swanson's crap, and they're like, when are you just going to sit here? I'm like, because I love what I do. There's nowhere to go. This is what you do, and even if you don't make it, kids, don't just keep doing it. And that is making it because you keep doing it. You woke up, I got on a flight, I acted yesterday, I'll be on stage later tonight. This is it. This is making it because you're happy at doing what you freaking love.
I feel it from you. I do. I know I do. I love it. I mean, I've done 5 shows today, and you're my last show of the evening. I love it. I had 4 great conversations on the 5th great conversation. To me, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. I've been doing it for 14 years. I'm in.
And I mentor a lot of young people, and I say, if I gave you $30 million right now, you never have to worry about bills. What would you do? And they're like, I don't know. That's what you need to find. What you would do is you do exactly what you're doing because you love it and it knows.
Exactly. Oh no, yeah, exactly. I'll put it in the bank somewhere, hold on to it for whatever, and continue what I'm doing.
Well, your bills are paid. Your bills are paid, but you get to do everything you love to do, which is this. Nothing would change.
So I mean, but as a kid, as you were growing up, was this always known to you? This could be a viable thing. Like you just said, you made your career. Did you even know it was viable career, or did it come to you later? I mean,
well, I fought it because my parents were in the music business and my grandfather was in the music business. But they were in a small way. So what they thought only Suffolk County, Long Island, New York. So you take over the family business, you sing your weddings and bar mitzvahs, and you make a couple of bucks. And for me, I always said, I got more. There's more in here than just that. And until I was 29, I was very unhappy because my family really pushed me into being small. And at one point at 29, I went, no, I'm better than this. And that sounds arrogant, and it is.
I know what you mean.
But it was taking my self-respect back. And that's when I started to grow up. And that's when I said, I could do this. And now I've played 40 countries. I've worked with my heroes on stage. It's, and now I just wrote a script and everybody goes, how many drafts is this? Draft number 3,000? I'm like, no, it's the first draft. Because I've been around. I've worked with some of the greatest people on the planet. And I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. I fought it. It wasn't evident that I was going to make a living, but I didn't care because I wanted to do it. So if I live in my car, I don't give a shit.
Right. No, right. Exactly right. I lived in I had an apartment once that had no kitchen. And I was happy as a clam. I was happy as a clam.
I got nothing in this room but a little refrigerator. They won't let us have a microwave.
That's true. That's true. You're in a hotel room, my friend. But you know what I mean? I have a house now. I got a nice house in Inglewood. I'm fine. I was saying that. But there's times when I was loving what I was doing, happy as a clam, just living my life. But I was in a small efficiency apartment, building myself up. And I think that's a lesson for people. It's like, it's still home. It was home. It was where I was at the time. I've moved on from that, but that's just keep going.
But there's nothing wrong with that. I almost lived in my car when at 29. I really left the whole family business thing, and I was making zero money, and I was okay with it. I embraced it. And there's a guy that recently died. He was a guitar player for Joe Cocker and some other really famous people. His name is Phil Grandy, and I auditioned for some of the big bands in New York in the 80s, and he said to me, you're not going to make it because you're afraid to eat bologna sandwiches. And I'm like, what the? And I said, okay. I didn't know what that meant.
Yeah.
And what he meant was I was afraid to just leave, have nothing to fall back on, and just have an A plan. And he was right. I was afraid to go broke and eat balloon because I always had something to fall back on. Once I had nothing to fall back on, I fell forward only. So God bless Phil Brandy for saying that. And there's certain things with certain people that ring so true to me now as an old man that, man, I wish I had a t-shirt that said that. And I pass it on to young people.
Yeah, same here. No, same here. I do that.
Yeah, that's good. I like you. You're nice.
No, you're amazing. I like you. So, okay, this film. So let's talk about this. Talk about this film that you've written and you're producing and you're acting in it too. You're also acting in it.
Yeah, and writing the music for it. So,
oh wow, okay.
The last film I did was called A Tale of Redemption and Regret with Sonny the Heat. It's been a long day.
Okay, that's a long title with R.
Well, I didn't come up with the title. It was the writer, and he's like that. So we just go Sonny. It's the hashtag, or go Sonny the Heat hashtag. Okay. It's a movie about an old mafia guy, and I read the script, and it was okay. It had a lot of holes in it, and the guy sent it to me, and I said, okay, let's talk about it. So we did Zoom meetings back and forth, and we redid the script to come to what I'm doing and my strengths. And I said, it has to be real, and I have to give him a heart. I don't want to just do a mafia movie. Hey, this guy you had to feel sorry for him in a way, but he's still a murderer. And it came out, and tonight we won. Yeah, last night we won the Las Vegas Best Mob Theme. So it's won awards in like 14 countries and 40 awards, and I'm Best Actor in I think 13 times. I know it's like stupid. So I'm really grateful because it's a great showcase for me. Plus I executive produced it. Plus I started it. Plus I wrote the theme song at the end. So, it's like, and I even won Best Song 4 times. So it's blowing me away. So now it gave me the how do you say balls nicely? It gave me the balls to write this new script, which is.
You just said it. I'm like, that's. I mean, it's my network. You can say it's my network. It's fine. You just said it. You're like, how do you say balls? I'm like,
how do you say balls?
You just said that. Yeah, that's too bad. We don't have a 7-second delay or anything. It's just okay. We said that's your balls quota. No more balls. The rest of the evening. Yeah, big
balls, footballs, anything. So I wrote this script because I did Annie with this really good-looking kid that was a triple threat. He was a singer, he's a really good-looking guy, a dancer, and an actor. And I said, I have a scene I want to do with you. And it grew into a whole movie. And then he since quit acting. But I wrote the script. Yeah, I know. Again, people just like, you gave it a year. Really? A year? I gave it 45 years. And I'm still working at it. This is 6 months. What do I do?
That's so true. These young kids today.
I know, and we're just warriors.
Yes.
But I wrote the script, and it's about a guy that he is in the 80s like me. He was a recording artist like me. He screwed up and did a lot of things to himself, and kind of blocked himself from success because he was afraid of failure. So it's a good story about that. And he comes back. He gets 6 months sober. He comes back. We find out that he has a son. And he has to make amends. And I won't tell you any more because it's really a great story. And I'm writing it's all my music from the 80s for real, like my real music. And then there's my own theme that I just wrote a couple of weeks ago called Albie, which is a great song that sounds like 1966-ish. You'll like it. I'll send it to you.
Yeah, no, I'm very impressed. I'm like, wow, you are a not even quadruple. You're like a whatever threat. You're like,
no, I don't. Yeah, I'm a control freak, I think, and I like it. I think I know what I'm doing at this point. No one said no. So starring it, directing it, producing it, writing it, music.
But I mean, that's a lot of hats. I mean, at once. I mean, so you're just used to that. You're like, I can switch up anytime. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't sleep a lot, and I love what I do. So again.
Hey, how many hours do you average a night?
5, 4, 5.
Well, 5. Okay, 5. No, 5 is decent.
I have to sing too. Remember, I hit the high notes every night. So
I know.
You got to get the rest, and you got to shut your mouth. And I'm casting right now too. And by the way, if you're an actor out there, please learn how to act. It's rough. I've received 1,200. I would say 200 people can act. Saying words is not acting, guys. Acting is being, living, feeling it, and then selling it to the audience. Was that too real? I'm sorry.
I love shade. So Stephen, I live in the shade. I love shade.
Was that shade? I mean, it was kind of.
I love it. It's good shade. It's good shade. It's true shade. I love it. I love it.
But there's a lot of crap out there. God bless. Everybody looks good and shit, but learn how to act. I mean, feel it. Do your Meisner stiff. Go to Strasbourg. Whatever you got to do. It just
well, there's classes everywhere. Hello, folks. There's all kinds of stuff going on. You can learn. You can learn.
yeah.
Like the little acting things that I've done were just for fun. There were roles written for me, my friends' things. I don't act anymore. I used to act. I don't act anymore. I write and direct and produce. I don't do other stuff. So I know my strength again. I know who I am, so I know what my strengths are, and I go with the strengths. That's how.
Hey, listen, it's my. I teach acting and I mentor a lot of people. So around the world, I do a lot of scholarships for kids around the world. I believe in that in the arts. So I'm a good teacher when it comes to acting. As far as directing, I'm kind of bringing that sensibility. And if it doesn't work this time, I'm just going to say, I've retired from directing. I'll let you know. I have a feeling I'm going to be an awesome director.
Oh, yeah, I know. I don't doubt you at all. I mean, I only know you, but I do not doubt you at all.
I don't know. We try everything, man. We just try everything, and whatever sticks to the wall,
I'm the same way. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm a multi. I have books. I have music. I mean, all kinds of stuff. It's for me. It's satisfying. It's satisfying these needs that I have in me to be creative and to get it out.
Yeah,
that's really what it's for. It's for me at first. It's for me. I'm like, I have a song I want to get out. I write it, get my producers, we put it out. Now, if anybody else likes it, that's a bonus, and it's great. But it's for some reason my voice needs to come out in that way. So I do the book. I write a book and I put a book out. If you buy it, great. If you don't buy it, great. I mean, like, I feel like that's what I just feel like it's something in me. It starts with me, and then other folks will enjoy.
Well, it's like cooking. You cook something because people are hungry, and you put all the ingredients that you want to put in. You make the soup, and it's good soup. But when people enjoy it, it's even that much better.
Well, so I ask you. I have to ask you this because I've got to ask you. So, how was it for you last year during the lockdowns and the early parts of the pandemic? What did you do?
I was in Australia when it started happening. I was on tour in Melbourne. I came home and nobody was wearing masks. We were like, hello. So I was supposed to go to Germany for 4 months. And I said, you know what? I think things are going to get worse and worse. I was on my farm in Virginia, which is like there's no humans. It's 50 acres.
I asked you where you were. Yeah, where you were. Okay.
I went to my farm and I just stayed there. And we just kept my little thing together. And then suddenly I got a commercial during COVID for pizza, something. I think it was Papa John's or something. And then I got that. And then I got A Rich Christmas, which was towards the end of the year. Yeah. So I kept working and I kept creating and I kept writing music. And my house is set up to be creative in it. So it wasn't a bad deal. And I sold a house. So I had money and I don't know. It was okay. And then I did A Rich Christmas with Victoria Rowell. And Bill Bellamy.
I love her, my girl. I love her.
I think she's my hero. After working with her, I was like, how powerful is this woman and how good?
Well, you know, when I first met her, I met her at the Emmys 4 years ago, and I go, it's about the interviewer, and I said, you're one of my heroes. I go, we have something in common. She goes, well, I go, we have the same birthday. And she's like, May 10th? I go, yes. We're both. When I was born, it was Mother's Day. The year I was born, she goes, me too. I go, it's crazy. So that was my introduction to Victoria Rowell. I told her we have the same birthday.
She's awesome. And I worked with her during COVID, and it was Screen Actors Guild, so we had so many things. We had to sequence, and it was great. And then after that, I did Sunny the Heat. So I kept working throughout the whole pandemic, and I even did a month on stage with Legends in Concert in Alabama, which they just said, "What the hell is COVID? There's no such thing." So I just kept my mask on, got on stage, took it off, and then went home. I went to my hotel room and hid there. So I kept working throughout the whole pandemic. So God,
yeah,
it wasn't a traumatic experience.
Yeah, no, I went to Vegas for the first time 3 months ago, and I actually felt very safe there. I stayed in Paris, like I usually do, and it was nice. I mean, everything felt very clean. I felt see all these protocols. They were wiping all the machines. I mean, I told people, I think because they knew that the year before a lot of business was lost, so they're making sure they want shit back together, and so I felt very safe.
Well, for the record, a lot of the shows closed, but the casino stayed open.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
So the drop didn't change much because some people got more money than they normally got, and they came to Las Vegas and blew it. So you had a whole different bunch of people here. Yeah. So Vegas did fine. The shows weren't open, but Vegas did fine.
It's just weird when there's no shows. That means it's weird to me. I'm glad shows are back. I'm glad they're
and
back.
We're all back. Yeah, we're almost all. I mean, a lot of shows died, but Circus back, and we're back. Legends and Concerts back. So yeah, it's a lot to do here, and it's packed here. It's absolutely packed.
Yeah, packed. Okay, so does Stephen ever take time for himself?
I am doing it right now. This is for
But
myself.
you're with me. You're with me. It's not by yourself.
But that's for myself, because we're talking about stuff that I love, and I'm getting some stuff from you, and I love meeting new people. So this is what I love. I was on a plane for 5 hours from North Carolina, or 6 hours.
Yeah.
So that was for myself, like this,
Oh yes.
because I wasn't in first class, because I'm a cheap ass. I gotta make a bottom line.
You're so funny. Oh my God. So I mean, okay, but so like I'm assuming that your hobbies are what you do for work. That's what you do for work. You're kind of probably like me. I don't really have. I mean, I like gardening. I have gardening. But other than that, it's like.
Can I tell you what my Zen thing is?
Tell me.
Are you ready? Mowing my lawn in Virginia.
No, I get it. No, I have a huge yard. I have garden. I have fruit trees. No, I totally get it. I totally get it.
I do 13 acres, and I take care of the property when I'm not working, when I'm not touring, whatever.
I should have came and hit your house during the pandemic. Shit. Like
it was. I'm telling you, it was like you could have had your own floor. It's a big house, beautiful house. There's a pool. I mean, you would never know there was anything wrong unless you watch the news.
Yeah. But I know. I totally. I think the mowing the lawn. I totally get. I know. I totally get it. It's Zen. It's like literally you have something to do. You have a specific thing you need to do and take care of, and it's very Zen. And you just kind of there's not much to think about. Just kind of like, I'm just gonna hang out here and mow the lawn.
Well, and it's a gratitude thing, because I'm on this John Deere, which is one of those fast ones. It's 13 acres. It takes 8 hours of mowing. There's 50 acres of property, so there's woods and trees fall down. So there's plenty to do. But there's eagles, and there's a bear, and there's all these things. And while you're on this, looking at the lake, you're saying gratitude, gratitude, and creativity brought all this to me. So I'm more than happy to be a part of it and see it every day, and see the fruits of being creative, and positive reinforcement that it works out. It works out if you stick with it.
That's true. I knew Ed Asner, who passed away earlier this year, and he told me, he said, as long as you stay on the road, someone doesn't see you. They'll see your headlights, so you keep going down the road. It's when you turn off or park the car, nothing happens.
Man, that's great. I'm going to use that.
Isn't that true? Isn't that a great analogy? It's just so true.
Well, and I always say to people, and some actors that I've been casting, I'm looking for a young guy that was supposed to be a rock star. So a lot of young, handsome newcomers. And the first 3 guys said, well, how much does it pay? I'm like, don't worry about it.
Right.
That's that. You know what I mean? This is an opportunity to be seen by the world. And it's not about the pay. The pay is fine, but that shouldn't be your first thing. Are you good enough? What's the part? Who's the character? The creative part. Because how much is, you'll never stay in it.
I know. No, I totally get it. And some folks don't understand. Sometimes not all money is good money. Number one, that's number 2. Sometimes not all jobs are good jobs. Sometimes some jobs you may think are good will actually give you more attention than you think they would give you.
Yeah.
I mean, this business is not just cut and dry. It's not this straight line. It's squiggly lines all over the place. And I think once you realize that, there's ups and downs and all arounds and all that too.
It's the roller coaster. You said it. It's this. You want the merry-go-round? That's a bore, and it comes around each time. And if that's your life, that's great. Mine is the roller coaster, and the highs are freaking high, but the lows they're low.
They are. No, they are.
But
they are.
There's another one coming up. So that's the excitement for me. I'm going to do a play in August in New York City, which I play a mafia guy. The daughter comes back with her lesbian girlfriend. It's a great play. It's very funny. I play as Frank. Hey, how you doing? I can't wait. But if you would have told me 2 years ago that I'm going to be doing a play in New York City on 36th Street, I would have laughed at you. Said, how am I going to get cast for that? I did a Zoom play, and the guy just went, you want to do this in New York? I'm like, what? Okay.
You are magnetic. I always surprised if I said no to you. I don't know how people would say no to you, because you're just magnetic. I mean, I can't imagine anybody saying no to you.
I just want to hug people. I want to meet everybody. I want to do everything, and I want to hug everybody. That's just me.
Yeah, I know how it is. I'm similar in some ways. I'm the same way. I think people are interesting, and we're all swimming upstream. We're all salmon swimming upstream somewhere. There's a shared experience in that, and it may be a different type of experience, but it's all the same thing. We want the same 5 things out of life, basically, most of the time, and that's what we're just trying to get. We're trying to get them.
I think everybody wants to be appreciated. Everybody wants to be loved. They want to be this, and years ago, I did a show, and I got paid a crappy amount of money for it, and I was going through it, but I did 100%. And when I got back to the hotel in Germany, I got an email, and it said, "Thank you for our mother back." from the show that I had done in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell? And she had, the mom had cancer and she hadn't been herself for 2 years for chemo. But the stuff that I was doing, the Four Tops and the old stuff that I was doing, brought her back to her young days. And she was revived and laughed. And on the way home to Philly, he said, my mother was herself until she settled down from the show and we got a glimpse of our mom back. Thank you for that. And you can't get paid enough money to be better than that.
Nope, you can't.
And that email was printed and it's in my office in Las Vegas here. And it's just, it lives there on the wall in a frame.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That you can't. Yeah. That's worth the price of admission. Completely.
Yes, sir. For the whole life.
Yeah. No, there really is. I could talk to you forever. You're amazing. You're like this magnetic personality. I can see it. I can see why people are drawn to you. I'm totally drawn to you. I can totally see it. So I mean, whenever we get back to this side of the world, I want to see one of your shows. I definitely want to see it.
I'm coming over. You're cooking dinner, and I'm
a good cook. So don't say that, Stephen. I'm a good cook. You said you won't be fat anymore. I'll make you fat again. Listen,
like I said earlier, you don't scare me. Thank you so much.
It was Stephen. So tell me where they can find you. What's your upcoming doing the Foxwood at some point? What's your upcoming stuff? Tell them.
I tell you what, I want you to see the movie. Everybody go to StephenSorrentino.com. It's Stephen with a PH, and just look for Sunny. And it says Sunny, and there's a link to the movie. See the movie. Just go to New York Actor is my Instagram. Just New York Actor, and follow me there. And just go to my website. Usually my schedule is on there. Come see me live or come see one of my films and support them. And I'll see you at the end.
Yes, and I'll put them in the description. And folks, support the arts. I mean, see, I say this all the time, but I really mean it. The arts are very, 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 very important for development, for growth, for self-esteem, for depression. Arts, it's been proven that arts make our brains better. So the arts, and support artists, support independent artists, support artists that are out there, support us older folks who are still doing it. I say for the old guys, we're still doing
live
it.
Theater. Listen,
Live
this
theater.
will give you no heart, but an actor on stage will give you all the heart that you can need and fill the room with love and laughter or sadness. It's real. Real is real. This is plastic and glass. It won't give you that gratitude. So support the arts.
And I'm gonna end it on that one because I like that alone. And I'm James Lott Jr. Follow me where all James Lott Jr. is sold at James Lott Jr. and all social media platforms, even on TikTok. Yeah, I'm on there too. Check me out, see what craziness I'm doing over there. But everyone, please take care of yourselves and each other.